Hello everyone, it's your friendly neighborhood Moshi. Today is the debut of my first Kirby Fighters 2 guide, in which we will be discussing general fundamentals, controls, and mechanics that every player should know if they're looking to delve deeper into what this game has to offer. Now if you're looking to learn even more about Kirby Fighters 2, head on over to the Discord server in the description below. You'll find plenty of people to converse with that can assist with general game knowledge, specific character knowledge, and many more as we discover more about the game. With that being said, let's get into the basic controls. Controls are somewhat akin to the Smash Bros. Series, as you are able to do quite a bit with just a few buttons. You are able to use either the left analog stick or the D-pad to move your character. If you tap the analog stick forward twice or smash it once, you will initiate a dash. If you are using the D-pad, you must press it twice. Press the A button to jump. Press A again while in the air to float. While floating, your falling and aerial movement speed are slowed. You are able to float exactly 8 times before Kirby begins to lose height, which is signified by sweat drops appearing behind him. The only thing you are able to do while floating is spitting out an air bullet by pressing the B button. You will also spit out an air bullet if you touch the ground while floating. There is one Kirby that cannot float or spit out air bullets, and that is Beetle Kirby. Instead, you are able to press and hold the A button to fly. If you jump while dashing, you will continue to dash once you hit the ground. Press down to crouch. Pressing down and A will allow you to slide low to the ground. If you hit an opponent during the slide, you will bounce off of them and do minor damage. Press the L or R button to guard. While guarding, a gauge will appear above Kirby, showing how much guard he has left. When this gauge is depleted, you will be knocked into the air and stunned for a short period of time. If you guard just before an attack hits you, you will parry the attack. You will know you have performed this correctly if you see a small flash emit from Kirby, as well as none of the guard gauge depleting. This is a useful technique against any opponent, especially projectile-heavy fighters. Pressing up or down while blocking will make you sidestep dodge, allowing you to quickly dodge attacks while staying in place. Pressing left or right will cause you to roll, giving you brief invincibility while repositioning yourself. Pressing L or R while in the air will allow you to perform an air dodge, functioning similarly to a sidestep on the ground. You can perform a neutral air dodge by pressing L or R with no directional input, or even an air dodge to the left or right. The only Kirby that cannot sidestep, roll, or air dodge at all is Bell Kirby. Bell can only guard. However, if an attack connects with their guard, they release a small shockwave counter that does damage to opponents that are close. Press the Y button or the B button while shielding to grab. Grabs will hit an opponent even if they are blocking, but not if they have rolled or sidestepped/spot dodged. After grabbing an opponent, you can throw them by pointing either left or right and pressing the Y or B button. As Bandana Waddle Dee and Meta Knight, you are able to essentially double jump as opposed to Kirby's float. You are free to attack and air dodge out of your jumps since you have no floating animation. Because of this, however, neither Bandana Dee nor Meta Knight are able to use air bullets. Gooey and Magolor have a unique mechanic similar to Beetle Kirby in which they are able to freely fly by pressing and holding the A button. In a similar vein to Bandana Dee and Meta Knight, they are able to attack and air dodge during flight, as well as being unable to use air bullets. Magolor also has a unique property in which his first air dodge before he touches the ground is a long-range teleport. King Dedede's movement abilities are all similar to Kirby. The only notable differences are that Dedede has 30 more health than any other member of the roster, he is obviously bigger, and he is slower than the rest of the cast. That covers the basic controls, mechanics, and movement options. Now we will cover techniques that are a bit more advanced. Some of these may be a bit more difficult to perform, so don't worry if you can't get them quite right the first time. Practice makes perfect. Normally when holding shield, all of your Normally, when holding shield, all of your momentum is stopped. However, by tapping L or R for a brief moment while dashing, you can preserve your momentum and continue dashing forward while protecting yourself. This technique is especially useful as water since you have a hitbox during your dash, allowing you to approach and pressure the opponent simultaneously. Cutter and Parasol also have a unique variation of this technique off of their aerial down B attack. They are able to shield when hitting the ground and preserve their momentum. If you are in the air, you can increase your fall speed by tapping down twice. This is an essential part of moving quickly in Kirby Fighters 2, and it can be used to close the distance between yourself and an opponent that is below you, as well as various other mix-ups. Directional Influence, or DI, is performed by holding a direction while taking damage. For instance, if you are caught in a series of attacks and you are holding right, your character will drift to the right. This allows you to escape from combos and strings and reposition yourself. Be careful, however, as your opponent can potentially catch onto the direction that you are DIing towards. In a one-on-one match, every character in the game has 240 health, except for King Dedede, who has 270 health. When you fall below 25% health, Guts will activate, reducing the damage that you take by 25%. Since King Dedede has more health than anyone else, this also means that his Guts activates sooner. Do not think that just because your opponent is low on health that the match is over. The match does not end until someone's health hits 0. The inverse of this also applies. Do not give up just because you are behind. Play patiently and punish your opponent's mistakes. If you are standing on a platform and perform a slide off the edge of the platform, you can press down again to immediately fast fall. This is extremely useful for maneuvering around platform stages such as green gardens and bubbly clouds, allowing you to surprise your opponents with a huge burst of speed. That covers the basics, as well as only a few of the advanced controls and mechanics in Kirby Fighters 2. More guides will be coming soon, going in-depth on certain characters and matchups as we learn and discover more about the game. Thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe and click the bell to be notified when more guides are posted.